What's going on, you guys? Got J-Pin here and
Jermaine.
Alright, so today we're going to talk about the possibility of the N64 Classic, because you know why not. The Super NES Classic just came out, so that makes sense. It would be the next one, maybe?
Possibly, yeah.
Possibly.
It only makes sense.
So, one cool thing about the Super NES Classic was the fact that it didn't come with one controller, it came with two controllers.
I know.
If they do make N64 Classic, I would hope this would also be the case. It would be super awesome if they put in 4.
There you go. I forgot about that. They had 4 ports for the things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good.
It's like the first console I think I played that had 4 players.
That's the only console that had 4 players.
I think the Saturn you were able to do up to 8 or something like that. Something dumb like that. And I think PlayStation also 4.
PlayStation had the multi-tap.
Yeah,
I know.
they did.
I think you can do 3, right? 3?
4. It was up to 4.
It was up to 4?
It was up to 4.
Oh.
Well, technically up to 8 because you could put 2 multi-taps in there.
Oh yeah. What game had 8 people though?
Who knows? Bomberman. But yeah.
Oh yeah.
So N64, 4 players. Also, I don't know how that would connect because these consoles have been pretty small. To put in the controls themselves might be a bit. You might have to make it bigger, but I don't know.
Maybe they could have like a port. You know, like how you have like extension cables and like the like for the Wii. Like how the Wii U has like the thing where you can put in the GameCube things. You just have something that attaches and has like the 4 ports in there, so you can just put the controls in there.
Could be something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe just limited it. Yeah. That would suck, but
I know.
Also, kind of random note: the fact that the boxes were small because all the controls were small. The N64 one I can imagine would be bigger if they do stuff more controllers, because that controller was pretty big. So yeah, there's that. And maybe would you want them to redesign the controller? Or do you think that would be fine?
The regular controller was just black, right?
They had black, they had gray. They had them in all different colors actually, because they also released like a whole bunch of different consoles with different colorways.
Well, I mean, depending on how many they decide to release, maybe they can have like, the ones that come out with the different colors as well.
That would be cool, yeah.
Because you know like how the Nintendo Classic and like the Super Nintendo Classic has like a limited amount. So it wouldn't make too much sense to have like all these different colors and stuff, especially if they're just like a limited time thing.
Yeah.
So maybe.
It'd be interesting.
I would like that. It would be
That'd be cool if they did that actually. Because the NES and then the Super NES, they had different models after a while, but they didn't do that. But if it's just color, then maybe that could be a possibility.
Yeah.
So, the big thing about this console, the games. The games. Kind of like thinking about this kind of quickly. At first I was like, man, I don't know what games they could put in there. Like, I don't know, the N64 lineup doesn't seem as stacked as like the whole NES lineup, the whole Super Nintendo lineup, or even like the whole GameCube lineup to me. But quick note, a lot of like kind of classic games for the N64 did come from Rare, but now Rare is owned by Microsoft. So like they kind of like they had to split their property, stuff like that. A couple of quick games that I would like to mention that they could be there, but it would be a thing of like Nintendo and Microsoft striking a deal for it. Games would include like both Banjo-Kazooies. There was Perfect Dark.
Killer Instinct,
yes, true. There was Jet Force Gemini, I think what it was called. Oh, and then there's also Conker's Bad Fur Day. They also made GoldenEye, which is a classic, but it's not the issue with Rare for that. It's the issue with the James Bond property. Yeah. So if they could somehow get their hands on that again, that'd be cool. But don't cross your fingers for that. And then games that they did make, but that could still be in the N64 Classic, Donkey Kong 64. It appeared in the Wii U Classic Virtual Console, so it's still possible. There is also the possibility of Diddy Kong Racing, but they would have to take out Banjo and Conker. And I want to say they did that for the DS version of the game. So yeah, kind of quick thing about Rare, because a huge part of the library. So what games would you like to see? What are your personal favorites before we name out and just list out stuff that we would like?
Well, of course, my personal favorite, Killer Instinct Gold. I know it's not entirely possible, but hopefully they do manage to work out a deal so they can actually have some of the rare games show up on there. Mm-hmm. Also, another game that's really, really cool. It's made by a company called Treasure. I'm not sure how many people know about them, but they've made a lot of really kick-ass games like Dynamite Headdy and Dynamite Headdy. There was also another game. What's it called? Oh, of course, Alien Soldier on the Sega Genesis. They made a couple games too. They're really, really good. They're different from a lot of games you see. So there was actually this game on Nintendo 64 called Bang.io. And there was another one called Sin and Punishment. Sin and Punishment is basically like a run-and-gun shooter, but it's not your standard run-and-gun. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like third person, you're behind the character, and they're just moving and shooting. It's really fucking cool, and the graphics are so beautiful. The music is really catchy, too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So, I want to play Star Fox 64.
Yes.
That was just so awesome.
Yes.
I want Diddy Kong Racing on it. If they could keep that kind of intact, that would be awesome. Super Mario 64, because why not?
Of course, you gotta have that.
Yeah.
That's a baby.
There's the Zeldas. There's Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart 64.
Mm-hmm.
What other stuff could they put in? There's Paper Mario.
Yeah.
Now I'm just looking through a list. Pokemon Snap, I would like them to put it. I don't know if that's 100% kind of 100% guaranteed, but it would be cool to have it because then there's also the stadium games, which I really, really love, but I doubt they would make it for the N64 Classic, unfortunately. Unless they just had a thing with the mini games, but that'd be cool. But it would be because it was so based off the Pokemon in your copy of Red, Blue, or Yellow, and Gold, Silver, Crystal, that it kind of defeats the purpose. I feel to have that game there, but. So that's why I'm put Pokemon Snap, guaranteed. You don't need any of that. Though you can go to your local Blockbuster to take out the stickers for that. You remember that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. For people that don't know, you were able to bring your cartridge of Pokemon Snap and print out stickers of that in this special Pokemon Snap kiosk. I'd say Yoshi Story.
Yes.
We talked about before we started the video about a couple of Star Wars games, but now the issue with that is the fact that getting the Star Wars property.
Yeah. They have
and
to shell out some serious dough for that if they really want to use that.
Yeah, right. There was the Shadow of the Empire, and then there was one that you were talking about, the Rogue Squadron, which I actually liked a lot. So what else could they put? Well, there's Wave Racer 64, which could be possible.
That's the one when you're on the
Wave Race 64, yeah.
You're on the ocean and you
you're
get
on the jet ski.
Oh yeah! Oh my god! I was trying to remember the name of that for the longest time.
Yeah. Well, that's it. F-Zero X, because why not? F-Zero was in the SNES Classic, so. Another one that I really love, but I don't see it happening, is WWF No Mercy or WWF WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's a possibility. Anything's possible right now.
Kind of, but they would probably have to go in there and just redo a lot of things, but I don't see it happening. It would be on my wish list. So there's 3 Mario parties there. Mm-hmm. At least one. At least one, right?
At least the first one.
Yeah. Or maybe the second or third one, but maybe if they put more, that would be cool, but okay. The Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards, that was very popular. I actually like that game a lot.
I never played that one.
So there's also a couple of other side Mario games. Mario Tennis, I could see them. Mario Golf. There's also Dr. Mario, which I think was a very popular port here. And speaking of puzzle games, I would say Pokemon Puzzle League also. That was so much fun. I'm shocked that I told you about that game, and you have no idea what that is.
I've never heard of it until today.
That is crazy. That is crazy to me. They had a couple Bomberman games there.
I love Bomberman. That was one of my favorite series growing up as well.
I feel like they should do that.
They really should.
Yeah. There's Excitebike 64. I think they put the original Excitebike in the NES Classic. And let's see. You said Harvest Moon. Wouldn't surprise me too bad.
Yeah.
And let's see, what else do we got? Smash.
Of course. You gotta have Smash. You can't have Nintendo 64 without Smash. The crown jewel.
Mm-hmm. And there's, of course, a couple other third-party stuff that they could be in the realm of possibilities.
Resident Evil.
Resident Evil, yeah. For sure. So, Do you see? Oh, there was also no Mortal Kombat in the SNES Classic. Do we think it could be possible for the N64 Classic?
Maybe they could, but the thing is with that, they'd probably have to, because like they'd have to kind of change the rating.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, what do they want to, like, kind of what's the rating base that they want to keep this in?
Yeah,
it wouldn't surprise me if they don't want an M on it.
Yeah, it'd pretty much be like E10 to M.
Yeah,
it'd be a little weird, but who knows? I think for the most part, I think they probably just want to keep it like teen to adult friendly.
Gotcha. So can't really think of another kind of game. So, if you had to give this like a number percentage of this happening, what would be your, if you were a betting man, what would you say?
I would say,
scale from 1 to 100.
I would say, I'd give it at least like an 80%.
Okay.
Because like, I feel like it's inevitable that they're gonna have to make a Nintendo 64 Classic. I don't know why. Like, there's no way that they can't like think of at least like having some kind of idea of how it would look and how it would work. Because I know like we talked about like the whole 4-player thing and how that would fit on there. Because they want to make it smaller. Because you don't want to have like the thing is just as big as the Nintendo 64. You pretty much just be selling the Nintendo 64 again, except it doesn't have the cartridge slot. So I think there's definitely more of a possibility of it coming out soon.
Okay.
It's just the games that's the issue. We're not sure exactly what, but we have a good idea the main Mario and the main like Nintendo games that were on the system would come out for it.
I feel like one thing a lot of people were worried about is like, oh, it's gonna cut from their virtual console sale, and I'm like, they're doing that already with the SNES and the NES Classic, so that's out the window.
Yeah.
I feel like this. I feel like the more I think about it, the less it's more likely to happen, because it makes sense, just based on the success of the other two consoles. Both this, I'm not 100% too sure. I think it's just more personal preference. Like, I don't think so that library stands up too much. One thing I hope that they... so I would probably give it maybe a 75%-ish.
Okay, fair.
Yeah, 3/4, why not? One thing that I would like them to do, though, is that they kind of don't do... Like, when they upscale it to 720, that it looks a lot clearer than kind of the resolution that's on the system itself.
Yeah.
Because I feel that would help a lot, even though it might make everything look a bit too sharp. But they'll probably have like kind of the scan lines option like they did with the other two consoles.
Yeah.
Final thoughts?
Final thoughts. It's asking for too much, but...
But what do you want?
Try to have more this time.
More?
At least have more so people can get a chance.
Oh, you mean in general now?
Yes, because God, I don't want
to
to have to keep on like hoping and dreaming that I get to finally get one in the store without them running out. At least have maybe 100 in a store at a time instead of like 20 or 30 or whatever.
That would be cool. That would be nice.
That would be very nice.
Yeah. After you said it, I want the different color options.
Yes, that too. I like that too.
I want the clear ones and all that. All those different styles that they had back then. So, yeah. Thank you guys. Peace.